Okay, wrestling fans, this is Ripper Collins with Lars Anderson today. Dunbar's on vacation, and the action has started, Lars.
It sure has. And, before we get into the action here, Ripper, I'm not a professional commentator like you and Dunbar, but I'll definitely give it my best shot here. What a match we have here. The Soul Patrol, Rocky and Ricky Johnson, the Polynesian Tag Team Champions, representing 1.5 billion people, going up against the Long Riders, coming out of Duluth, Minnesota, Scott and Hog Irwin. Scott, of course, coming in at about 275 pounds. Big Hog coming in at 6'4", about 320 pounds. The Johnson brothers are going to have their hands full with these two behemoths from Minnesota.
Well, I'll tell you right now, this is probably two of the biggest giants that Rocky and Ricky have had to tangle with. They've had their hands full in the past with some of the toughest there is, but I think these are two of the biggest boys that's been in here, and they come in with one great reputation. But of course, Rocky and Ricky are our champions, and they come up with something new every time. They keep their opponents outfoxed. They do new maneuvers all the time. It just puzzles everybody, even me sometimes. I sit amazed at what they come up with, Lars.
They are a great, great team, a great brother combination. Of course, the Anderson brothers have been together for several years off and on. The Johnson brothers are together. They are the Polynesian Tag Team Champions, representing 1.5 billion people in the Pacific Rim, and they've taken them all on. The Dirty White Boys, and they went over them. The Dick Murdoch and Adrian Adonis, they went over them. Bad News Al and Tiger Chung Lee, they've taken on a host of teams and come out on top, and they've gone in single matches and come out on top. There's no question about the fact that they are a force to be reckoned with in the world of professional wrestling. And here we see Scott complaining about something, a shot of the fans right there.
All right, Lars, I'll tell you one thing. They've got their hands full tonight, but they're really going to have their hands full very shortly with the Prince of Darkness, Kevin Sullivan, and his new man, Maya Singh. Never have I seen a man as weird and crazy as he is. I thought that Sullivan had brought out some of the weirdos before, but this Maya Singh is really something to be reckoned with.
There's no question about that, and I hope that Rocky and Ricky really take him to the cleaners. Like we're going to see the incident coming up a little later in today's program in the title match with Kevin Sullivan and myself that brought about this match. And I say, I hope that Rocky and Ricky, really take him to the cleaners. I don't care if Kevin Sullivan's arm, leg, whatever, may I sing, I hope they break both their legs and send them out of town, because there's no question that there's no need for this in professional wrestling. The type of tactics that Kevin Sullivan has gone on and on and on and on and on, and this Maya Singh, a half a head of shaved hair and paint on the other. The guy's absolutely loony, and they're wrestling. They're a force to be reckoned with. But I'm sure that Rocky and Ricky will take it to him.
Yeah, well, like I said before, Rocky and Ricky come up with new things every time they get into that squared circle together. They've been together for a while, and they are a great team, just like right now. They're pulling a little trickery right here, and they're going to confuse these Long Riders. But with Maya Singh and Kevin Sullivan, they're going to really have their hands full. But they are the champions because they are just a little bit better than the competition has been in the past. And in the near future, they're going to really, two of the meanest. I tell you, Sullivan will stoop to, I don't know, he goes to the bottom of the barrel and brings things out that no one in the world ever thought about, Lars.
That's right. He does everything and anything to win or to maim people or hurt people. Sometimes it doesn't even look like the man cares if he wins or not. He just wants to hurt people, cripple people, and humiliate people. Well, he's going to find out with the Polynesian Tag Team Champions that they bit off just a little bit more than they can chew, because Rocky and Ricky just get tougher. If the competition gets tough, they get tougher. It gets dirty, they get dirtier. They'll do anything that they have to win, too. Believe me, they know their way around that wrestling ring, Ripper Collins.
Yes, and I tell you, Lars, they have really got themselves psyched up for this one, because they saw what happened at the last matches at the Blaisdell Arena in Honolulu, and they know what to be prepared for and the tactics to expect.
And of course, on this one, this is the third annual card, the memorial card for the late, great High Chief Peter Maivia, the founder of Polynesian Pro Wrestling, and of course, Rocky Johnson's father-in-law. So, of course, there's that additional pride, that additional honor of upholding that championship on that great night, that great memorial night that comes around once a year for the man that started it all, Peter Maivia.
You see a nice move right there by Ricky. The man went for a backdrop, a leapfrog, nice drop kick, and right back into an arm drag on the long rider.
Good chain wrestling. You know, one move right into the other, the drop kick into the arm drag. Stay right on top of the man, keep him off balance. That's what you've got to do in tag team wrestling or in single wrestling. If one move works, come right back into the other. If it doesn't work, you got to come right back into it anyway. Come out on top and keep going, keep digging. Here's one of the Scott or Hog Irwin coming in complaining to the referee. Rocky and Ricky, they know their way around that ring too.
They just made a little slick move right there. They didn't really tag, but the referee says they did. And the other guy's in there to scream and holler. He should have his mind on trying to get his partner over to his corner and get him out of trouble is what he should be.
What a year of wrestling here in Honolulu, Polynesian Pacific Tag Team, Championship Wrestling. You know, I'm not a professional commentator. I get a little messed up there, Ripper.
I get excited myself, Lars.
Promoted by Liam Ivia. It's been the biggest year of wrestling ever here in Honolulu. The hot summer night, the biggest card ever. And now, the Memorial, 38 wrestlers. What is it, 13 or 14 matches, the big battle royal. $40,000 battle royal this year. I'm telling you, like, she really pulls it out. Who are some of the people we're going to see on this card, bro?
Well, I can tell you, we're going to see you, of course, defend your championship against Bad News Allen, who had that title before. And by popular demand, they will be coming for the big memorial for the High Chief. Kerry Von Erich will face Gene Hernandez, the half-breed, and I wonder if his hair's grown back in.
I don't
he
know.
Had his head shaved in Texas.
They had at the Cotton Bowl there a big, shaving their hair match or something like that. I don't know what happened. I'm curious to see myself.
And then we've got the mass superstar, Les Thornton, the Polynesian Connection. Jimmy Fly Snuka will be on this big card with Sifa
Oh,
Afi.
what a team they'll make.
And then we got Sakaguchi and Tatsumi Fujinara and Kingo Kimura against Superfly Tui. Don Stevens and the Spoiler is coming to town. We're going to have the ladies, Lady Mad Maxie and Dee Dee Smith against the Fallen Angel. And Liz Chase, the Midgets will be back. The Samoan Connection, the Long Riders, Mike Graham, the Mighty Milo. And of course, Lars, I'm not going to boast. I'm going to make my comeback for the High Chief. No one is going to embarrass me or Liam Ivia or any wrestler in the United States by doing what the Russian exterminator did to me. He ripped my shirt, attacked me from behind, broke my glasses. Whether I win or lose, he's going to know that Ripper was inside that ring.
Well, Ripper, you're the legend, of course, in wrestling here in Hawaii. You know, next week, Liam Ivia tells us that we're going to see that incident right here on television that happened between you and the exterminator. There was no reason for the man jumping you, breaking your glasses, and tearing your shirt off and kicking you and stomping you. Absolutely no reason for it. And I hope Ripper Collins, I don't like to make predictions, but I hope you come out on top because I don't like that Russian either. And you've mentioned one match. I forgot to mention one match. I see the technician telling us Andre the Giant and Antonio Inoki, the team of the century, going up against
the Texas Outlaws.
What a team. What a match that should be.
And also, the King of the South, Mr. King Jerry Lawler, will be here again, facing Mr. Wrestling #2. And to my knowledge, it's the first time he's ever been here.
First time that he's ever been here. And also, Liam Ivia asked us to mention that the Wrestling Spectacular will be going to San Jose Civic Auditorium, Polynesian Pacific Championship Wrestling starting its West Coast tour at San Jose at the Civic Auditorium. And the fans, of course, in the San Jose and the Bay Area are in for a real wrestling treat. Rocky and Ricky Johnson, Siva Afi, and the whole crew will be there.
Everybody that is anybody is contacting Liam Ivia in Honolulu, Hawaii, saying, let me come and be one of the Polynesian Pacific Championship wrestlers because I want to be seen by 1.5 billion people and around the world because it is becoming the hottest wrestling program on the air because the top stars, I get excited myself. You see that?
Really?
Coming here, they want to be part of it.
Here we have Hog Irwin jumping on Ricky Johnson. Ricky has been taking a little bit the worst of it here, Ripper. This big team, coming out of Duluth, Minnesota. And I'm telling you, I'm from Minnesota. I grew up about 80 miles north of Duluth. They do grow them tough in that part of the country. You got to be tough. Big cold winters, long, cold, hard winters in Duluth. That wind whistles off Lake Superior. So this is a tough team. I mean, they know their way around that wrestling ring. And, you know, they ride their motorcycles everywhere. They actually did try to ride them into the Blaisdell. Police said, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I realize it. There's a big tag made, and in comes Rocky. Look out! Boom! He used to spar with, God, look at that drop kick! Bingo! Another drop kick, and down goes a big man! Another big Cassius Clay punch! This Rocky used to practice and box with Cassius Clay, a big double headbutt. Watch out! Boom! And oh, did you see that punch? Another one! Oh, this is action galore! The Soul Patrol is on the wall. Oh, look out!
I'll tell you about those drop kicks. Rocky Johnson throws the most devastating drop kick in the world of wrestling. I know, I've been hit by that drop kick before in Florida and in California, and I've watched him throughout his career in professional wrestling. The most devastating drop kick of anybody in the world of professional wrestling, bar none.
Well, he's one of the most fantastic athletes ever. Oh, look at that! What's this? It's a small package, Lars. 1, 2, 3. It's over. And the Soul Patrol. Hey, wrestling fans, is Ripper Collins with Lars Anderson, the Polynesian Pacific Heavyweight Champion. We've just seen Sullivan in another devastating victory with Maya Singh as creature at his side. And Wednesday night at the Blaisdell for the Polynesian Pacific Heavyweight Championship, Lars, you are going to have your hands full.
That's right. You know, when it comes, when Kevin Sullivan's name or Lewin or Maya Singh or any one of these names is mentioned, the thing that comes to my mind, is like the things that I can't forget, the things that have gone down, the powder in the eyes, the baseball bat in the groin, the paint thinner in the eyes in the cage. I watched here a while back, like the Aloha Stadium, Kevin Sullivan, like drop a girl wrestler, lady wrestler on her shoulder and break her shoulder and beating me with a chair. That's right. None of these things will be forgotten, Kevin Sullivan. None of these things will be forgotten Wednesday night at the Neil Blaisdell Center in Honolulu, because I'll tell you why. Nobody is going to get by doing to me what you've done to me to this point. I'm going to tell you right now, Kevin, this is what you're after. 1.5 billion people this title represents. 1.5 billion people and some 30 million people on the mainland via satellite. That's right. This is what that represents. And this is what you're after, the Polynesian Pacific Heavyweight Championship. And I'm going to tell you one thing, Kevin Sullivan, and I'm going to tell it to you straight and get right up tight to your camera, Kevin Sullivan, because I want you to understand this one. You try to do to me what you and Lewin did. You bring Maya Singh into that ring, Kevin Sullivan, and I'll guarantee you one thing. I've been around this island for 3 years. 2 of that I've been the champion. 1 year trying to get the championship. And I'll tell you one thing, Kevin, I've learned a couple of things while I've been here. You try to pull a number on me, any number, you pulled several in the past, and you've tried it on several people in the industry. You try to pull a number on me and Pearl Harbor me or jump me or attack me or whatever, Kevin Sullivan, you're going to find out. Island style, you're going out. When they go to the airport out here, when it's time for you to leave this island, you're going to be on a stretcher, Kevin Sullivan, because you're going to get it island style. You try to jump me, Kevin Sullivan, your arm or your leg or something is going to be broken before you leave that building, in the locker room, on the floor. I don't care where it is, Kevin Sullivan, because my back is being watched this time, Kevin Sullivan. You have gone too far, too many times, and this is it, Kevin Sullivan. This will be the last time you and I ever step in the ring for this title in the Neil Blaisdell Center in Honolulu. The last time, Kevin Sullivan. Try it. I dare you. You just try it, and you'll see what happens to you. Island style, brah. Here we go, Ripper Collins. This match, of course, a little hard for me to be objective about. It's Kevin Sullivan and myself for the Polynesian Pacific Heavyweight Championship. I told the fans it'd be the last time I ever step in the ring with this rat. I'd like to have him one more time to smack him around a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was one of the hardest fought battles that I've seen you in. This Sullivan is one tough hombre. He's not that big in stature, but he packs one heck of a wallop. And I'll tell you this, he knew he was in for a battle with you. He hit you with everything you had, Lars, and you still managed to come out on top.
Well, that's right. You hit me. I hit him pretty hard a couple times. I tell the story this way. I hit the guy a couple of times pretty hard. I mean, just about as hard as I could hit. One time, I think, as hard as I could hit, and I didn't move him too much, So, I mean, he's a tough customer, no question about that. And the guy could wrestle if he wants to. Well, I've seen him wrestle in the past. I know the man to be a good wrestler in the past, but all the dirty, cheap shots he pulls now, he doesn't even belong in the game of wrestling.
Well, I find through our archives that a few years ago, he did follow the rules exactly like you say. And he was a very good amateur. He does not need to go to the lengths that he does to win matches, but he's taking all the shortcuts, and it's got him way up the ladder. The only thing is, sooner or later, he's going to meet someone that's just a little bit sneakier than he is, and he's really going to be in trouble. And there's his friend, if you'll notice.
See, there you go. Maya Singh comes out. You know, I used to think that it was that, you know, goofy maniac Mark Lewin, you know, that influenced Kevin Sullivan, but I see that Kevin Sullivan is really the ringmaster. He could have even influenced maniac Mark Lewin. He's got this Maya Singh. There he pulls the cord, he's choking me around my neck. I'm saying to myself, you know, what's going on here? The referee had one heck of a time, I'm telling you, controlling this match, you know, with this goofy Kevin Sullivan. But I'll tell you, Rocky and Ricky Johnson, I mean, Rocky will drop kick this guy pretty hard. He'll knock his head right off as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you see, this man is called the Prince of Darkness, so he's not there anyway. And with the trickery that they come up with, I think that maybe Maya Singh and the Prince of Darkness are going to be looking at one another and scratching their head and trying to figure out what's coming off. And maybe they will be in darkness.
Tell me, Ripper, why would a man shave half his hair off and you paint the other side? What, I mean, is it psychological? Is he trying to throw his opponents off? I mean, what is it all about?
I have no idea, Lars. It's like Sullivan paints half his face black and the other half white, and then he'll put a star on one side. I don't know why the guys do this. But while we're watching this match, we should talk a little bit about you, because you're going to have your hands full. Bad news, Allen was a former Polynesian Pacific champion, and he's coming back after that belt, and he's done some heavy boasting.
That's right. Right here, we'll get into that a little later, Ripper. Right here, you see the referee goes down. You see he purposely hit that referee. Purposely hit that referee. And there you see Maya Singh coming up behind me. He's coming up behind me.
Oh, that was a nice move, Lars. That was a nice move. You see, trickery doesn't always work. But what's this?
This is where it comes. This is where it comes. Always after the match. Both men chopping. You see me, Kevin Sullivan going after the referee right there. The referee standing his own right there. Now, you see it chopping. If it wasn't,
both of them
right here, both pounding on me. At this point, you know, there wasn't anything I could do. They're holding my arms. And this is where it was going. I was going down. I was weakening right here. They had me chopped down to my knee. And this is where Rocky and Ricky Johnson came in to help me. And if it hadn't been for Rocky and Ricky Johnson, I could be in the hospital right now. Look at Rocky throwing that punch. There's Ricky with a big headbutt.
You could definitely been in a lot of trouble, because these two guys...
I was going down, Ripper. There was no question about it. I was on the way out.
They don't want to hurt you. They want to cripple you. Look at that!
And there's the thanks. There's what happened right there. Maya Singh comes out with the powder, the soap, or whatever it is, into Rocky's eyes. Rocky's down. Now look at on the top rope.
Right on the top turnbuckle. These guys should be suspended from wrestling. Someone should kick their brains out.
Words from the Soul Patrol, Rocky and Ricky Johnson. And Ripper, look at this match here from the Roxy Theater in Kauai. We've got Big Bruiser Brody going up against that mercenary, Colonel Buck Robley, clothed from his neck down in black. What if that says something, huh?
We're going to be going back to the Roxy Theater pretty soon, too. Very soon, in fact. There's a big wrestling card. We was sold out when we was there the last time when these matches were taped. And later on in the program, we're going to see the last meeting of the Dirty White Boys and the Soul Patrol Dunbar later today.
All right. I'm waiting to see that one. You know, Bruiser Brody is going to be on that hot summer night at Aloha Stadium. He's going to be there along with all sorts of other stars. We got more than 50 wrestlers being represented from I don't know how many countries around the world. We've got all the major wrestling alliances represented, the top stars of Japan, and some of the biggest men of the world. One of the big ones is sitting right here in front of us. Look at this. Bruiser Brody stands, what, 6'7" tall, well over 300 pounds.
And he's going to wrestle the match of the century against Antonio Inoki, the biggest star in Japan, will be here to wrestle Big Bruiser Brody on that night at Aloha Stadium.
And you know, both of those men can move really fast. When they're moving around the ring, they're like a couple of lightweights. Oh, lightweights. Ripper, did you know what's going to be happening on the night, that hot summer night at Aloha Stadium? I just found this out. But the AWA lightweight world champion is going to be there and put his belt on the line against our own Mighty Milo.
And who is that champion?
Oh, that's Steve Reigel, and he is going to be there, and he's going to go up against Mighty Milo. And these wrestlers have got to be what? Just around 200 pounds, right? They can't be
I
over
don't think
200.
they can weigh any more than 200. They can be
pounds.
up to the 200-pound limit, but not over. And of course, Mighty Mio is another of High Chief Peter Maivia's protege. So this is going to be a great night, not only for Leah, but 3 of his proteges who he has trained, and they're all going for the first time for a big championship. So this could be a night that you see many new champions.
It could very well be. I'd like to see 3 brand new championship belts right here in the Polynesian area.
Well, it would be the greatest thing that ever happened if Sifa can take that belt away from Ric Flair. It's not going to be easy, but Sifa, like I said, is training harder than anyone has ever trained every day.
Oh, yes, Ripper, he's in there pumping iron every single day, building up those muscles, training hard, working out on the mat. I mean, he's going after it with a vengeance.
Well, like I said, he's trained harder than he ever has for anything, and he stays in the gym 4 and 5 hours a day, and then running in the morning and running in the evening before he turns in. He really is going for that belt. He really wants it more than anything he's ever wanted his entire life, Dunbar, and it would be a great honor if he could take that belt away from Ric Flair.
Okay, a big boot by Bruiser Brody. It's a count of 1, 2, 3. This match is over with. Colonel Buck Robley pinned to the...
The action continues. Ladies and gentlemen, very, very special wrestler this evening. They call him the living legend, direct from Japan. The man who entered the ring with Muhammad Ali a few years ago. Japan's most famous wrestler, ladies and gentlemen, Antonio Inoki.
We are watching probably the Japanese legend of all time, Dunbar, and that is Antonio Inoki. He is the International Bronze Ring champion. He is the man who met Muhammad Ali in the ring in a big boxing wrestling match a few years back. And you know, Dunbar, I hear rumors throughout the wrestling world that as part of the big IWGP tournament coming up in November this year, he is going to be repeating that performance with a different boxer. I understand they're in negotiations right now with some major boxers, and that Inoki is feeling that it is time again to prove his point, and he's going to be going back into the ring against a world-class boxer. Well, I'll tell you something. There have been a lot of wrestlers and there have been a lot of boxers, but Antonio Inoki ranks as one of the top. Right here in the ring now, he's got a big challenge now here with Hacksaw Higgins. Hacksaw Higgins has trimmed down somewhat. Looks like he's lost about 20 or 30 pounds since the last time I saw him. I can tell. He's a big man, but Antonio Inoki, I've seen him wrestle the biggest of the big. He's had the King Kong Bundys and the Andre the Giants and like that. We had a match with Antonio Inoki and Andre the Giant that was an outstanding match. And just recently a match with the Giant Machine and Antonio Inoki. A lot of controversy over the Giant Machine. Antonio Inoki in a ball position there. Got a count of 2. Hacksaw Higgins pushing this man over. Once again trying to repeat it. Had a little extra leverage there. Luckily, the referee caught it. It's hard to be a referee in this match because, you can never tell. You can't be at all places at all times. You can't see the yank of the hair or the pull of the tight. You have to be there checking for the chokes and counting the pins. You know, a lot of times done by the fans get real upset at the referee because they see something that the referee doesn't see, and they don't understand the referee not doing it. We always point out here there's 4 sides of the ring, and it's usually one side of the ring that sees it, the other 3 sides doesn't see it either. So the referee can't be on all 4 sides of the ring at one time. He's human just like you and I. Antonio Inoki getting set. No lock up there. Gets Antonio Inoki up outside him. Powerful body slam and a quick punch. Count of 2 again. Antonio Inoki flails out. I don't think you're going to beat Antonio Inoki without picking the leg. I just don't think you're just going to be able to win. Lay down on him in the corner. I think you're going to have to do something, and especially with the leg, or you're going to have him in a package of some sort. Hacksaw Higgins in command of this match right now, working over his chin lock. Look at that look on Inoki's face. I mean, you talk about determination. You know, they say you can count the number of times that Inoki gets lost on two hands, and that's over a 10 to 12 year period. You know, when you think about it, a wrestler who has not been pinned on an average of more than once a year, that's a phenomenal record. Well, Antonio Inoki deserves it because he's one of the most well-conditioned athletes to come out of the gates and look at that slap. Oh, that is so injury there. Antonio Inoki, big right cross. Again, it looks like a close fist to me. Hard to say how he's handling it. I saw Higgins definitely thinking about his eyes are rolling. Who's this? Hey, that's Steve Williams. Steve Williams. Steve Williams. Williams. It certainly is. Antonio, he's caught by a clothesline. Chuck is going on. Throws it right into that second ring roll. Steve Williams was supposed to not be wrestling tonight. He was not supposed to be in action tonight. And now look at this. He just turns around and walks off. And wait a minute, he's got Antonio Inoki. Wait a minute, Steve.
I will return. I will be the shadow of death. Just remember I have no faith.
Watch it. Look out, there's a chair coming. Got to that Steve Williams, and Antonio is standing up. They're just getting to this ring over here. They've got the small ring up that they were going to use for a cage match, and he's challenging Antonio Inoki is calling in Steve Williams. He says, bring in your chair, bring in anything you want. I'm ready for you right here. The challenge is an issue. Dr. Death is walking away. Look at him. He's just cut his way back to the back. Now, why would he come out to the ring and do something like that and then not accept the challenge? Antonio Inoki right now a bundle of pure.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This match is one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first in the blue corner from Honolulu, Hawaii, 262. A big hand for Bill Francis. His opponent, the Hawaiian heavyweight wrestling champion. In the red corner, accompanied by his partner, Big John Studd, 235, Las Vegas, Nevada, Playboy Buddy Rose. Referee Rodriguez, timekeeper Okuda.